been to Jamaica multiple times. They take like 15 hours just to bring you your food. Everybody is moving on snail time out there. What is the definition of lazy? And they keep saying, oh, my family came here and they got a house and they got a car. That's normal. That's normal. To y'all, having a house and a car is like the pillar of success, because where you come from, those things are not easily obtainable, or it is that much harder. And I'm not saying it's just easier walking in the park to get a house and a car. No, you definitely have to do what you got to do to get those things. But so many of us are doing that we don't look at that as a precursor to being better than anybody else. It's very odd to me. Being an adulting, getting yourself the bare minimum, getting the basic necessities of life means that you're so successful. Like, what the fuck is going on? Being a nurse means that you're just so much better than everybody else. Because you went to college, that means you're better than Black Americans. That's literally created HBCUs. You wouldn't even be able to go to a PWI or HBCU as a person with dark skin if Black Americans did not fight for rights. We got to keep saying this because these people are delusional at this point. And not all, because not all of them are like that. So I'm not going to sit up here and say all of them, because there are some in the comments that are saying, I don't know what's going on. Why even compare? Why is there even a comparison? We're not sitting up here just thinking about y'all comparing ourselves to y'all. We don't do that. The only time you will ever hear any of us saying anything is when y'all talk crazy. So we're going to say something back. And then for the people saying, oh, just ignore them, don't say nothing. Oh, no. Why do people get to just talk crazy and we just supposed to take it and continuously keep taking it? That's not okay. Y'all need to go in those other people's comment sections and tell them to fucking stop, bro. Talking about, oh, this diaspora award y'all keep doing. We don't keep nothing. If this lady didn't make that video, I wouldn't have made a video, because I wouldn't have had nothing to make. I wouldn't have had nothing to respond to. But y'all not about to keep getting up here, making it seem like we're all just living in fucking squalor. And we all just didn't amount to shit. Because that's a blatant fucking lie. And y'all keep comparing y'all top to the fucking bottom here. No, bitch. Compare y'all top, take 1 million of y'all, or however many of your specific ethnic group, and compare it to however many of you all there is that's here. I think there's like, what, 700,000 Nigerians from what I looked up briefly. Compare the 700,000 Nigerians to the top 700,000 Black Americans. I'm not sure how many Jamaicans there are here, but compare however many Jamaicans, because it's almost 50 million of us here. Compare however many Jamaicans there to the top, I don't know, 500,000. Compare that, like with like. Y'all act like some of y'all are not living in regular apartments. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I grew up surrounded by Caribbeans. Some of my best friends are Caribbean people. They lived in regular apartments. They slept in rooms with bunk beds with all of their siblings like everybody else. They drove regular cars. If they had cars, a lot of them get on the train and get on the bus like everybody else. Some of them are babysitters as older women. Some of them work at fast food restaurants. Some of them might be a CNA.
Hello guys, welcome and welcome back to the channel. It has been a while guys, it has been a minute, but guys, I am back. Something happened to my recording gadget and I had to take a small break, but now I'm back like I never left. So guys, if it is your first time to come across this channel, consider subscribe, and if you are returning subscriber and viewer, I really appreciate for your support. And this is your channel, this is my channel, this is our channel, so let's grow together guys. So and I want us to look at these videos. This video is a response or a reaction and a commentary to a deep message that the Black Americans are sending out to African immigrants and also Caribbean immigrants. So guys, let us watch these videos, and then I'll be back with a deeper commentary and dive into this whole subject.
Y'all are acting like you all, every single last one of y'all is a fucking millionaire. That is a blatant lie. It's a lie you got to tell yourself, because you are in this weird competition with Black Americans. We are not in competition with you. Stop trying to compete. It's weird. It is weird. We've always supported you. We turned you the fuck up. Supported your carnivals. We supported your businesses. White people is not eating your fucking Jamaican food like that. So who's keeping you the fuck open, bitch? It's not just your kind that's eating your food and shopping at your stores and helping you to become the success that you claim you are in America. Anyways, spread love is the Brooklyn way. Like, stop. Just stop. We have not done anything to you. Y'all are mad at the wrong people. Go get mad at the fucking Great Britain. Go be mad at the Crown. Go be mad at the Chinaman and the Indian man that's buying up your fucking beaches right now. Why y'all don't ever have smoke for those people? It's weird to me. Bye. Spread love is the Brooklyn way.
You've got a great idea.
We're not going to keep pretending immigrants are automatically innocent just because supremacy is the bigger villain. Yes. Immigration has caused harm to the Black American community. Not every immigrant, not only immigrants, and not always with intent, but measurable harm has happened. Economically, Many employers have chosen immigrant labor at lower wages instead of hiring Black workers at fair wages. That choice has reduced opportunities for Black workers in the job sectors where we have historically been concentrated. That is a harm. Politically, as immigrant populations grew, major parties shifted their promises, their attention, and resources toward new voting blocs. The Black agenda has been repeatedly deprioritized as politicians calculate numbers rather than loyalty. That is harm. Culturally, Black American creativity has been used globally as a resource, while Black Americans are erased as origin. At the same time, many immigrants adopt negative stereotypes about Black Americans when they arrive because they learn quickly that distancing from us provides social benefits in this system. That is a harm. Geographically, the pattern is the same across multiple cities. Long-standing Black neighborhoods lost their population share and cultural control as new communities with greater economic leverage moved in. Gentrification and repopulation and both resulted in Black displacement. That is a harm. Socially, immigrants did not enter a neutral landscape. They entered a country with an existing racial order that rewards those who rise above Black Americans, whether conscious or not. Many participated in that reward structure. That is a harm. And the only reason this conversation is treated like a taboo is because Black Americans are allowed to blame supremacy, but not allowed to acknowledge lateral harm from anyone else. We are allowed to hurt. We are just not allowed to name who contributed to the harm unless the answer is people. That is not hate. That is not xenophobia. That is not jealousy. It is displacement layered on top of sacrifice. Black Americans built what we built under terror and brutality, and everyone else arrived and benefited from that foundation. And when we say protect our share, protect our identity, protect our cultural space, we are told we do not get to decide. That is a harm. No one is asking immigrants to leave this country. Well, some people are, but I'm not. Not all of us are. No one is asking immigrants to undo history or carry guilt for what they didn't personally do. What is being asked, and has always been asked, is simple. Acknowledge the part you play in continuing the harm, whether you meant to or not. This has always been about accountability and acknowledgement. If accountability feels like an attack, ask yourself why you're willing to abandon being the harmed class in your own country just to become part of the system that harms us. And
this is why we're not getting involved in anything. This is why I tell Black Americans, don't you do a thing more than what you have to do for our community. And that's just period. Period. Don't do nothing. Because we as Black Americans, we have fought for these groups for a very long time. And what do we get in return? Videos like that. Use our clothing, lingo, the way we dress, trying to mimic us to protect yourself from accountability for you breaking federal law. You want to use us to shield yourself from accountability. And that's what Black America's been talking about forever. We're tired of being your shield when you have to deal with them white folk.
Why do they want to discredit us so bad? So everybody else outside of the United States of America that's deeply melanated like us wants to discredit us because I feel like they want to humble us and knock us down a notch. They cannot wrap their heads around the fact that we've made such a monumental, iconic mark on the globe that they themselves have not been able to make. They can't fathom it. Especially because they don't see us as an ethnic group. They feel like we're cultureless. They feel like they're the ones from the motherland or even the ones from the Caribbean, because this lady might be Caribbean, because a lot of the Black Brits, they're African and Caribbean. So they're like first and second gen. So I'm not sure. But they just can't believe it. Like, how is it that Black Americans don't govern themselves? You know what I mean? Like, we live side by side with our oppressors. We live side by side with people that have been literally G-siding us, burning down our communities, flooding out our communities, stealing, co-opting, and colonizing, assembling lynch mobs to literally hunt us down in the street like animals. This is literally our lived history and lived experience in this country. And some of us are still experiencing these atrocities to this day. It's clearly not, as prevalent as it was 60 years ago, 65 years ago, but there's still a few cases where a random Black guy would be found hanging from a tree somewhere. It's fucking disgusting and terrible. But through all of that, we prevail. We prevail. We're like super Negroes out this bitch. We're giants. And we don't govern. We're not in a country. We don't have a predominant landmass that is just ours, or at least that's not recognized or acknowledged on a global scale. You know what I mean? So they feel like they need to cling on to that out of Africa theory. They need to cling on that we come from them. They need to cling on to the fact that we don't have culture because it makes them feel better about themselves. Because how is it that we've accomplished so much when we're like not even the majority here? We're not the majority, and we fought through so much. Our ancestors, our forefathers, even the average Black American in 2025 has still experienced many adversities when it comes to systemic racism, redlining, not being approved for certain loans, being discriminated against, facing different types of prejudices and stereotypes and racism. I know I have, and I'm a millennial. And I've experienced those things. I've experienced workplace discrimination. I've experienced a lot at the hands of not just white people, but Latinos, Indian people, Asian people. And we thrive. They don't. They flee. They run. The ones that are loud and proud and that have the mics are predominantly the ones that ran away from their homeland. They didn't stay. They didn't fight. They're not doing anything to better the quality of life for their people and their lineage. They ran away. So what else do they have but to cling on to us, to tether to us, and to make it seem like they're the Super Saiyan and we're just like a little peon, a little generic version of them. You know what I mean? And instead of congratulating us and looking up to us, which a lot of them do, but they don't admit that as much openly as they will get up and talk about how they're better and compare themselves to us. And a lot of the fuckery that goes on, it's an ego thing as well. And they have a superiority complex. And they feel like we do. When we don't. A lot of us do not be up here. We don't even think about these people. We just started entering the chat. And they can't take it. It really upsets them that we're like, hold up, you're not about to keep dragging me and talking crazy. No, we gonna match energy. They don't like it. So for years it's been Black Americans this, Black American that, Black Americans ain't this, Black Americans ain't that. This lady that I showed y'all, I seen them, her and her little friends, I seen them on a podcast like 2 years ago, before I ever started saying anything about the shit they talked about. And they was talking big money, cash money shit about Black Americans. And I'm like, damn, like when we started our podcast, we probably was talking about each other. Men was talking about women, women was talking about men, we was talking about racism. We was not harping on immigrants, migrants, or whatever the fuck other Black people, deeply melanated people was doing around the globe. We didn't do that. Whenever they loaded up their mics, we were always the main topic of discussion because they feel like we're their direct competitors. And you're not competing with nobody if you don't feel like they're at the top. They know what it is, but it hurts them. It really kills them inside to admit that we at the top when it comes to deeply melanated people. It just is what it is. Girl, I could talk about this forever. Well, I don't know if you're a guy or girl, but
Welcome back, guys. So for generations, the story of Black Americans has been one of struggle, resilience, and even a relentless fight for equality. And from the days of segregation to the battles of the civil rights era, every inch of progress came at a cost, and opportunities were not given, they were fought for. And through decades of hardship, the Black Americans built powerful cultural movements that shaped the world, from music and sports to fashion, activism, and entertainment. But guys, in recent decades, something new has been happening. A new wave of Black voices have been rising in America, and immigrants from Africa and the Caribbean, and even Jamaicans, Nigerians, Kenyans, Ghanaians, Ethiopians, all arriving with dreams, ambition, and determination to succeed. In universities across the United States, African immigrants and their children are excelling at remarkable levels. In medicine, technology, engineering, and finance, they are building powerful careers. And in sports, Caribbean athletes continue to dominate some of the world's biggest stages. But guys, as this rise becomes more visible, a quiet tension has begun to emerge, because for many Black Americans, the fight for equality has been a centuries-long journey, a journey built on sacrifice, protest, and survival. So when newcomers arrive and quickly find opportunities, some begin to ask difficult questions. Is this competition or is it collaboration? Some voices argue that immigrants benefit from doors that were opened through the struggle of African Americans, and yet they do not want to recognize these struggles, and they want to create as if they have created a new breakthrough, guys. And others believe that the success should never have limits, that opportunity should belong to anyone willing to work for it. And from the immigrant perspective, the story looks very different. Many Africans and Caribbeans arrive in America with little or more than education, discipline, and relentless determination. Most immigrants see the United States as a land of possibility, not a battlefield of identity, but a place where hard work can transform a life. Yet cultural difference can sometimes deepen the divide, and different accent, different tradition, different understanding of race and history in America in sports rivalries often highlight the tension. A Jamaican sprinter defeating an American champion, an athlete rising to global fame, movements that spark pride but sometimes also spark debate. But beneath all the noise, there is a bigger reality unfolding. The global Black diaspora is expanding its influence, and from Silicon Valley to Olympic stadiums, from university to global entertainment, Black excellence is no longer defined by one story. It is becoming a network of many stories, many cultures, many journeys, and perhaps the real question isn't who deserves the spotlight. Perhaps, guys, the real question should be how powerful the spotlight becomes when the entire diaspora stands in solidarity. Because the future may not belong to one group alone, it may not belong to generations that understand something deeper. That success does not have to divide, it can multiply, and when it does, the world will be watching. So, guys, do let me know what you think about these deep messages from the Black Americans to African immigrants, and also um, African Americans that are have migrated to the Americans, and they have embraced or taken up the Black American culture. But it seems like to the Black Americans that they have not yet adopted their culture, but they still want to use the privileges that the Black Americans built to, advocate for equality. So, guys, do drop your comment on the comment section on this subject. Let's meet, guys, in the next video.